once you got this started, you had run into a program through Grant Cardone.
Yep.
And once you launched this, obviously it was something that caught someone's eye. How did you get involved in that whole program, and talk a little bit about what that program does?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was really the kicking point for all of this. It was the real catalyst. So I'm just Ron Nussbaum. I'm a construction guy that was in the Marine Corp, and now I have a software company. And I got told no a lot. And the reason no came about was because, hey, it's a great idea, but you're probably not the guy. And I'd say that's bullshit. What do you mean I'm not the guy? Well, I'm not from Silicon Valley. I'm not backed by $10 million. We bootstrapped this to get it to where it's at today. And I was in the middle of doing my first round of 75 hard, which I credit everything to that because it got my edge back. I had gotten out of the Marine Corps and just I had lost that edge, and I was doing 75 hard and I got it back. And 10X launched their incubator. 23,000 companies applied to be part of that, and I was one of less than 100 that got accepted, and I'm one of about 5 that's actually now made it to market.
So talk about what that is inside 10X. What's that actual program again?
Yeah, so it's an business incubator where they come in and they were taking napkin ideas or fully developed products, anything like that, but you had to get in and do a 5-minute pitch. In 5 minutes, you had to sell, at the time, Grant Cardone, Jared Yellen, Jared, why can't I think of his name, the VP of 10X. You had to, in 5 minutes, convince them you were the person and this was the ID.
Now, were you already in 10X?
No.
No, so you had heard about the program.
Well, I was around. So I read 10X Roll in 2011, and I've read it every year since because I think it's a very powerful book, and it opens up people's minds on how to think. And I just relate with Grant Cardone, like his mentality. If anybody's ever seen Undercover Billionaire, I think it was one of the first times when I watched a show with my wife, and she could actually kind of relate with how I am, because I'm all intensive. I'm fucking intense.
She's like, oh, that guy. Yeah, that's you.
It's
That's
like,
you.
well, I'm just like, I can get obsessive. I'll bet the farm. I'll go get it. Just, if somebody's saying no, it don't matter. We're going, this is yes, this is what we're doing. We're headed for it. So I connected with his mentality of, it's 10X. Like, if you're thinking this way, you're thinking too small. So I related with that. And I was trying to grind this out and figure out how myself as a non-technical tech founder can go out and take this to market. Like, I have this, I call it a haphazard at best PowerPoint presentation of what I think this should look like. I'm pitching this and people are saying I'm not the guy. And I had told her in 2011, one day I'm going to do a deal with Grant Cardone. I don't know what it is, but we're meant to connect on something. 10X Incubator rolled out. They were looking for tech companies, started software companies.
And how did you come about this? That was
I followed Grant Cardone.
So
it popped up
online, social media.
If you're doing anything around Grant Cardone, anything he does is in your timeline. Like, that's just, he had $1 million a month on social media. It's there. So it popped up, and I said, "This is it. Like, this is the opportunity," and they're the ones that are going to say yes.
So here, go back to what we said 5 minutes ago about being in the right room and targeting the right room to have that opportunity. So you were looking, you were manifesting this, you were putting it out there. And I want to touch on a couple things. Number one, have you ever read Howard Schultz's books, the founder of Starbucks?
No, I'm not a huge Starbucks
I'm pretty sure it's Howard Schultz. That book is incredible about how many times he pitched that idea, and think about how wildly successful Starbucks is.
Yep.
It's insane. And actually, fun fact: Starbucks is the largest bank in the United States of America because of all that money we all put on your Starbucks card that you scan through your phone. And they're able to lever that money just like any other institution is. That's my ADD jumping in. But getting in the right room, you knew that this is the opportunity that you want to do. Another thing I wanted to point out is 75 hard in the edge. 75 hard, I have some gripes with it, all right? And Andy would try to tear me to shreds on it, and that's okay. But the one thing I noticed is the intention on time, and it definitely puts you on edge. That is for sure, because if you've been in a lazy groove of not working out so much and not being intentional with your time and not grinding, man, that's a program that will get you on your grind really, really fast. 2 workouts a day, the reading, the diet, the water, the pictures, everything. It's kind of just like makes you get into that mentality of action and building momentum. If you want to build momentum, you got to move. And 75 hard definitely makes you move.
Well, it made me feel like I was that killer I was when I was in the Marine Corps. Like, I knew I was the baddest dude in the room. Like, I knew when I was in the Marine Corps. Like, that shit's beat in your head. Through boot camp, through School of Infantry. Like, you have an understanding that you're a fucking killer and you're the baddest dude in any room you walk in. I got out 10 years later. I didn't have that edge. I still had it, but I had barely, like, I had a great job. I made great money. Our life was fantastic, but I was miserable.
Yeah.
And I drank too much. I had all this stuff because I was on the drug of what a Sour is.
Yeah.
And I wasn't interested. It just didn't make me happy
It's the strongest drug out there.
I had all these inhibition, all these ideas, the stuff I should be doing.
You're stuffing it down.
Yeah, because comfort. People want comfort, but I don't like to be comfortable.